Hello everybody, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the week. We've got a big week. As always, thank you to all of my patrons for supporting the channel and continuing to support the channel. You're all amazing. Every single one of you amazes me. You baffle my mind. You make me go, oh, I didn't know people like that existed, but in a good way. It's always a huge help, helps me pay my bills, helps me keep on investing as much time as I can in this. And we've got a big week to get into this week, starting off with something that we covered last week. I think I've been talked into it, and I think this is a bad call. I really think this is a bad call. It's pretty expensive, but you know what? I like supporting companies. I like the concepts that are being put down here. I think it's going to be pretty simple. I think it's a simple system. It was my pick for me last week, and I've had a long year, but a long last few months as well. So I'm going to do it. Oh, actually, I should check if there's a Board Game Geek group buy first. Also, I know that people make geek lists of their stuff. I could make a Crowdfunding Countdown geek list. I mean, like, I just have playlists on YouTube. But if you think there's anything beneficial about that, let me know. Yeah, it's like $40 if I do it by myself. So I could probably make it $10 or something. It's an interesting thing. I was ready to hit the back button, and then I was like, oh, I should do a group buy. And then I'm thinking like, oh, I'd have to get to Mississauga. That's where the group buy is. And then I'm like, oh, it's so much money. I don't know. This is my process. I was all ready to start this with a bang. No, I like the company. I think the company seems cool, and really everybody in the Discord is talking me into it because everybody's doing it, and because they did Hextra's insert, even though I'm not even getting Hextra's insert, but I still like that they did it. It feels a little less. There's less flourish if I don't hit the back button and I just go on a list. But I got to put my money where my mouth is, so I've committed. We're also going to take a look at this Football U. This is something that I missed last week, and people were talking about it in my Discord. So it still has 22 hours to go. I'm trying to do this a little bit earlier to get ahead on some things so I can focus on WSBG, commentary, editing. But yeah, we've got the Team Building College Football board game. The Team Building College Football board game. I'm going to check this out. As always, I'm sure there'll be a late pledge. Yeah, that seemed kind of fun. You're going to be building out your team of football stars, and then you're going to simulate games by rolling dice. Recruit blue chip high school prospects. I don't know what that means. I'm in a football league in the Room Board Discord, and well, I didn't know how to draft the players, so it didn't go well. But I got Saquon. I think I won a match, so that's pretty cool. It doesn't automatically sub? Wait, Laird McConkey's actually doing well now? Oh my god. I gotta figure out how to switch this. Oh, this is Gabe Barrett. That's why people are excited about it in the Discord, because they like the solo game of the month. You recruit players, you train them to flip them over, make their dice better, build chemistry, so you want to match symbols, set collection style. Become the next Football U. $39 for one copy, that seems alright. Off-season spans 15 weeks, each action costs time when you recruit people and you upgrade people. Sure, let me see the rules. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of action points, really. Nice. I like this team chemistry idea. Everybody has a place where they are more likely to pull people from. Yeah, it seems very simple as well, too. It's just going to be drafting your dice and seeing what happens under the guise of a football game. I think that looks fun. I think it definitely does look great. I like the $39, 55 Canadian. Shipping is just $15 anywhere. So it'd be like $70 for me to get this game. A little bit too expensive for me, like everything. But yeah, I think that looks solid mechanically. I'm glad that it was brought to my attention. So if you're interested in that, that finishes Thursday, October 16th at 9:30 p.m. So it's already done, because this is out later than that, because that's tomorrow when I'm filming this. But you can go check it out, and they probably will have a late pledge, etc. All right, next up we have Pathfinder Quest, which I definitely missed because I don't check BackerKit anymore because, well, BackerKit hasn't made itself relevant. But Pathfinder Quest seems to be putting it into the spotlight once more. Cooperative adventure board game for 1 to 4 players, no game master, no endless prep, just adventure in a box. I have heard that Pathfinder is like really, really basic. Or maybe I'm thinking about Talisman. That might be it. Yeah, I think I'm getting Pathfinder and Talisman confused. I thought it said, and dive right in and play a prepubescent hero, but it said a pre-built iconic hero, which makes a little bit more sense. Pathfinder Quest is a cooperative adventure board game for 1 to 4 players. Build your character from the ground up by choosing their ancestry, class, and ability cards, or dive right in and play a pre-built, prepubescent iconic hero. From character creation to combat challenges and exploration, the player's actions matter, with the choices that ripple through the entire multi-session campaign. So it's a campaign game. Designed to bridge the gap between quick randomized dungeon crawlers and sprawling prep-heavy delves, the Pathfinder Quest offers a full campaign of 12 possible adventures, each lasting approximately 2 hours. With no GM required. An introduction that swiftly teaches you the rules as you play, and a rich narrative that rewards teamwork. This game is sure to be a hit with your group, whether they're new to tabletop gaming or seasoned veterans in the adventuring life. Alright. You'll use the adventure book to explore the town of Falcon's Hollow, undertaking challenges and making choices that determine the course of your group's story. Using character skills and other abilities, you'll roll quest dice to determine the outcome of your efforts, and refer to the secretive challenge book to learn your fate. This is a lot of that's not how to play. This is how to play gameplay. That's not gameplay. This is not gameplay. None of this is how to play. You're just giving me marketing copy. Come on. You're not even gonna give me a rulebook, are you? Woof. So expensive if you want to get all the minis. That's why they have standees as their basic. I swear to God. I'm so mad. Screw you, Backer Kit, and the horse that you rode in on. We're moving on. Next up, we got the pink soup. No rulebook, no coverage from me. That's just the deal. That's the deal you sign when you create a game. But we have the pink soup game, a crazy cooking battle for parties and family time. Pink soup? What? What is this madness? Oh, clearly I'm going to my second win. That's great. I thought I was going to have to go to sleep. Ha-ha! Nope! Okay. All right. Too much. Or not enough. Too much. Or not enough. Okay, pink soup game. What was in that soup? I don't know. A crazy cooking battle for parties in the family time. Dive into kitchen chaos with 2 to 5 players. Gather ingredients. Cook the strangest Lithuanian recipes. I hope it's a Lithuanian company. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, just be crazy. It's weird. Lithuanian food. Oh, Lithuania. What a weird place. Does it even exist? Outsmart rival chefs. I certainly hope they're Lithuanian. I need to know. Kraken Tales. That sounds like somebody from Lithuania. Stuff from kids. Maybe they're just trying to teach you about Lithuania. I need to know. Where's the team? Made in Europe. Crafted in care, will be proudly printed in Lithuania. All right, that's the end. It's gonna be $25. What is this pig soup game? I imagine it's just a card game, and I imagine it's just fine. This is how they eat every dinner in Lithuania. You only get 1 bowl, though, don't they? No, you can't. Those are just cards. Oh, okay. Are you doing the golf thing? Oh, you're doing the play cards on each other thing. You just try? Is it just scram? Is it a worse scram? All right. Well, how is this? A Christmas gift for 2025. Beware, your opponents are just waiting for the perfect moment to sneak a hot chitty into your pot. €20 makes it 33 Canadian. Rulebook. See, Pathfinder, even Pink Soup can put a rulebook on their page. Nobody cares about rules these days. They just say, does it look pretty? I don't need to know. I'll just pretend that it's going to meet every expectation of mine and hit the back button. And then when it arrives and it sits on my shelf for 6 months and I realize I don't know a thing about the game other than it has pretty pictures and minis, I'm going to go, oh man. And then I'm going to look online. I'm going to try to sell it for a profit and I won't be able to. And I'll go, oh, dang it. And then I'll open it, and then I'll play it, and I'll say, dang, this game was mediocre. I should have listened to Chris and gotten pink soup. I'm sure that's the flow of what will happen. At least 5 different suitable ingredients in a pot, shared kitchen. You draw 1 recipe card, you shuffle all your ingredient cards. So you need to make the recipe. That makes sense. All right, so you're swapping things in and out of your pot that once you put them down, you can't look at them again. You draw 2 cards, or you draw 1 card from the market. 2 cards randomly might give you what you need. Or you draw from the market, or you bury things that are in the market because you only can take from the 5 face-up cards. You're trying to complete your recipe card before anybody else does. The best part about Silver and Scram is that you always have different fun abilities to do, and this doesn't seem like that. So I think it's fine, but if this excites you, Silver and Scram look way better. Unfortunately, Pink Soup, not for me. That finishes 10/21, October 21st at 5 p.m. We're moving along to this one. Detectives versus Criminals. Join the criminals or the detectives and travel across early 1900s Europe, chasing priceless treasures to steal or to protect. The Sherlock Holmes and Dracula expansions add legendary characters and brand new game modes, making every match even more unique and thrilling. You better thrill me. You better thrill me. I want myself a little thrill. What in the fever dream did I just watch? One more step. It's, oh my god, useless. Damn things. Yeah. Heist Pledge 165 for a hidden movement game? Stop it. Oh, they wanted a 5 reasons you shouldn't back. All right, here's the 5 reasons to back. Chris George. Detectives versus criminals puts a unique twist on the hidden movement mechanic. Instead of the classic one versus many, the hidden criminals play as a team. Sure. Truly unique experience. Yeah, sure. I mean, Nuns on the Run has multiple people hiding, but I guess they're not on a team. I don't think any of these are good reasons. If these are your best reasons, no. Limited content, free exclusive content, reliability, be a part of it. They clearly were running out of steam. Why should he back it? Just say something, Jeff. I'm panicking. Because then you'll have backed it. Do you feel like a skilled detective or a cunning criminal? I can't tell you. That would ruin the game. I mean, this could be interesting, but come on. Give me some information about the game. I want to know. Investigation pledge, €39. Yeah, that's nice. Heist pledge, €89. Blech. Jeez, so friggin' far down how to play. And then a rulebook should be under this. Detective team has 2 detectives, 4 agents. Criminal team includes 2 criminals, 2 thugs. At the start of the game, the criminals draw 2 cities. These are the locations of the treasures, precious prizes coveted by all outlaws. With this knowledge, one criminal vanishes into the shadows, selecting a hiding place and plotting their next move, while the other stays in plain sight, right under the detective's watchful eyes. So much for a team. And then, starting with criminals, the teams take turns playing rounds, carrying out their actions. Criminals scheme to evade, capture, and steal the treasures, while the detectives hunt them down, hoping to reveal where they are and make the arrest. So are you in plain sight or are you hiding? Move across different routes. Criminals move in secret. So you're probably hiding, but they probably get to know the last location of one person. Detectives and agents can investigate the city where they're in. If that city is the second to last entry in the criminal's notebook, they have to confirm that they were there a turn ago. Okay, if they're there, then they're put on the board. Roll the dice and try to hit or threaten opponents, making them flee to connected city. Interesting. I don't know if I really want dice rolling in my deduction games. I'm like, I found you! I missed. Go disappear again. I found you! No, I missed. You're safe. Okay, there's a mechanism where when you get to the place, you don't want people around, or else you have to discard more cards to get the treasure if you're a criminal. If you're a detective, you just want to surround people using your agents. Okay, so the criminals win if they steal 5 treasures. The detectives win if they catch people 5 times. I don't know about this. I really want to like it. Okay, so only the criminals know where the treasure is. That makes sense. You have your main people and you have your filler people for both teams. Scotland Yard rules of 1, 2, and 3 links. Well, I guess there was more in Scotland Yard. Oh, the criminals have to report any sightings, which I thought it was the criminals being like, yes, I took the train and I saw a beautiful mountain. But no, they were seen by someone else. That makes a little bit more sense. It feels like the dice on fighting, you probably have high odds of it doing something, but I still don't like that there's a dice there. You're limited to cards which have locations on them in order to do things, but they also relate to the action itself. So you're holding on to different actions, but they also have town names. There could be something interesting there. Essentially, detectives are placing things around the map so that when the players move through them, they'll get notified, they can find them, they gotta uncover them 5 times. It seems okay. It doesn't really blow me away. I think it seems like a fine hidden movement game when their only reason to back it was, there are teams, it's new! And then it's the same type of hidden movement game. I don't know, I like the card play in this. The potential card play here of being limited to actions or limited to traveling on specific roads just based upon the cards that you have. That might be interesting in terms of the forced deduction element. Doesn't seem bad. Just seems okay. The finish is on the 22nd at 12 p.m. I didn't even look up the shipping, but I just don't really care. Next up, we have Mystic Moon, which has almost raised $1 million. Phew, good thing I'm filming this now, so I don't have to do another 5 reasons you shouldn't back. Mystic Moon is another game from Unstable Games, the Unstable Unicorns, people here to slay, casting shadows, and they have gotten a little bit more quote-unquote evolved or quote-unquote mechanically dense, I would say. Not dense, certainly not dense, but they've incorporated mechanics other than draw a random card and see what happens. So I'm interested to see how this works. Normally these smash $2 million or $3 million. It's a bit surprising that they haven't, honestly. I wonder if they're disappointed with the performance. Right, that's not going to tell me anything. What is this? You want to brew potions and stir up a little mischief. Arrange puzzles of ingredients in your bubbling cauldron as you prove your prowess to the stars. Your rivals may unleash mischievous frogs to snatch your ingredients or poisonous mushrooms to sabotage your brew. Yeah, it seems awful. But we'll see. We'll see. I really don't mind Take That in games. I think Take That can be very fun in a board game. Like, Take That, I think, gets a bad name, gets a bad rap, and that's because of games like this or card games where it is all Take That. And I don't mind being aggressive and targeting people in games. I don't mind random things happening to you. But you just need to feel like you've earned it. Ugh, this collector set for $200? Like, I don't know who these people are in the world who feel like they need this. Or the deluxe edition for $49. I mean, it's going to be out in Target and Walmart everywhere. Why are you paying for it at retail? The same thing happened with every single other one of their games. They appeared cheaper at Target, and the deluxe you never need. But, I don't know. I don't know your life. Collect ingredients from beneath the mystic moon. They're not going to have a rule book either, are they? Okay, key aspects. All right, key aspect. Some asymmetry. You have a cauldron. There'll be ingredients scattered. You got to place them in a certain pattern in your cauldron to create the potion. And I guess you can have excess ones. So it gives you a little bit of wiggle room if everything is three cards. See, even Mystic Moon has a rule book. Come on. Right, so you're going to be grabbing these patterns. You're going to be dropping them in your cauldron. So there's a bit of a Tetris Candy Crush effect there, making the patterns that you have collected from the Witch's Brew shop to make the most potions and get points. You know what? I think this is okay. The frogs and the Take That element and the stealing stuff are just tokens that also are here, which I like that because you're choosing to draft something. I mean, it's probably always better to just draft something that steals something, realistically, because you're just going to steal the thing that you need. There's not that many patterns. But even still, I don't mind that it's in this setup, that things will slowly grow better and better over the course of the time. I think this actually could be okay. But it's not a thing that ever needs to exist at crowdfunding. You know what? I think this is one of their better games, and it's funny that their better game, in terms of like a gamer mechanics, not horrible standpoint, is one that hasn't gotten a bajillion dollars. Probably because they don't have plushies. Maybe they do. No, they don't. They do still have vinyl figures for no reason, but that hasn't stopped people from getting the vinyl figures before, even though there is no reason. I don't know. An insane that these make so much money when they're no better than an Azul, but here we are, because they got cute creatures on them. That finishes on the 22nd at 2 p.m. We're going to move over to this, which is, I don't know, probably very silly, but I hope it's good silly. We have Burger Battle Shake Up, a deliciously fun dice game. Burger Battle Shake Up is a fast, friendly dice game. Roll to build burgers, steal ingredients, or unleash chaos on your rivals. You have a big old thing. Oh, it looks like you got little circular ingredients there. Shake up your dice. Get some ingredients. Let's see. Sure, you're trying to roll these dice. You're trying to roll symbols. 5 can lock a thing in place, so nobody can steal it. 3 gets you the ingredient. You're trying to make a burger. But there's also a battle dice that just is like the screw you dice. Why is there the battle dice? Probably not needed. It's probably not fun. Download the rules here. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you can roll the ingredient dice or choose to roll the battle dice instead. No, it's do you help yourself or do you hurt one player so the third player can win? Not a choice. Shouldn't even be a choice in this game. If you want to have a weird zany battle dice, I don't know. I like that it's there because it's really just I am a bad person to play games with dice. So if you have any of those people in your life, well, you can invite them over and have them roll that dice and not get anything. I guess it's a catch-up mechanism with a burger bomb to blow up a burger after somebody's worked so hard. $15 for this, 22 Canadian, and then shipping. They're going to handle all the shipping themselves. They're going to do US for free, and then shipping from inside the US, obviously. For the deluxe and super deluxe, it's built in. Basic edition, US is $5. So imagine that. The cost of this deluxe edition is actually $25. Yeah, I think that battle dice is stupid to what otherwise could be a fun little dice game. If you want a fun little dice game, there's do the hot dog wiggle. What's that called? Sausage sizzle? Sausage sizzle. That's a fun little dice game. Burger Battle has absolutely nothing on Sausage Sizzle. That's the way to do it. But if you're interested in that finishes Thursday, October 23rd at 7:58 p.m. Moving along to Biome Blitz. And the crows in the back said, everyone attack, and we took him to a Biome Blitz. And the Nemo in the corner said, owl, I want to warn you, because we took him to the Biome Blitz. Biome Blitz. That was the Nemo in the corner, in case that wasn't clear. A resource management game for 2 to 6 players. Assemble the team of real-world wildlife, strategically combining their unique traits. What if you like making deals and chaos? Can I trade and explore? Okay, I imagine I can learn quicker with a rulebook. Give me a little peek. Give me a little peek in there. I want a little peek. I do like this. There are 2 ways to win Biome Blitz. Each either be the first player to reach 30 points or successfully reach a total team size of 5 animals. So I do like multiple paths to victory. I like that it is a race. It is in keeping with its name. You're going to grab resources. The cards used to discover other cards. They got plants, waters, and meats. Animals are collected by players to make up your team. They have special abilities to help you win. You gain points equal to an animal's star value when they're discovered. You also gain points equal to an opponent. Yeah, I'm really ready to friggin' keep going. To an opponent's animal if you defeat them during the compete action. And there's an ecosystem, enhance the strength of your matching animals. Presumably you get more points for that. So that's why it's not so easy to get a team of animals, because they might be defeated. Interesting. Roll a dice, add their attack value. They roll a dice, they add their defense value. If the total power is greater than or equal to the total defense, the defender is defeated and discarded. You gain points equal to the star value of the animal. If not, your turn ends and nothing happens. So if you just get a big old animal that just keeps attacking people, I don't know about this. I was excited about it, but it just kind of seems really back and forth. This is just showing, hey, if you play a big animal, somebody can just kill it automatically, but you've gotten the 10 points, but then they get the 10 points. I guess that's where the race aspect comes in. I don't really think the team of 5 is ever going to happen then, because it's so easy to just fight people, especially if you're playing at a multiplayer game. And so it's really just about getting points. And so I guess you've gotten the points 1 turn before the opponent has potentially gotten these points to even it out. But even still, that just feels not like a flow that I am excited about. Why would you ever purchase these animals when they're just going to get murdered by somebody else? So you have to invest in your biomes first to give you a little bit more protection. I don't know. I was excited about this as a prospect, but the fact that you can just compete consistently makes it not that exciting for me. $33 US, 45 Canadian. Unfortunately, shipping to Canada is 15, USA 22. Toronto pickup available. Nice. I really do like that. Dang. Like, I wish that compete was just different. I wish it was just a different game. If it was a different game, I would be more interested in getting it. I understand that, like, you're gambling on if you're getting points or not, and so there's the potential to sacrifice your turn and get nothing, but it just feels like the obvious optimal way to do things if you have a big, strong animal. And if you don't have a big, strong animal, you're kind of screwed. I do like the art. I like the concept. I like that potential, but I think the compete action kind of kills it for me. That finishes Thursday, October 23rd at 10 a.m. Moving along, not to this one. That's Wizard, not just because it's clearly copyright infringement from That's So Raven, but also because they did the $1 pre-pledge, and we don't give free marketing to people who engage in that sort of behavior. Oh, it was very nice. My patrons shared something with me of a response to one of my videos that someone who was doing a $1 pre-pledge wanted to use. What did they say? It's almost a catchphrase. Misinformed, angry, and loud. Which was good feedback from somebody whose issues with the video weren't actually things that I said in the video. We're moving on. We're moving on to Battleforge Berserker. The roar of Fenrir echoes through the 9 realms. You awaken in Valhalla, but not in search of glory, but vengeance. The fate of the world rests in your hands. But you're in Valhalla. You're dead. Rally your allies. Rally your allies. And face ironborn gods and biomechanical monstrosities. Unleash your fury to set Ragnarok back on course to destroy the world, right? Ragnarok destroys the world. So the fate of the world rests in your hands. You need to destroy the world. That's fair. That's legit. Yeah, Ragnarok was canceled. They called the officials. They said, listen, all this destruction, it's just going to take too long to implement. And then you awoke in Valhalla and said, no, bring Ragnarok upon us all. This is Creative Game Studio. They're the people who did Barnacles of Dumbledore, I think. Oh, who also made the giant box for Dante Inferno. There was something else about them. What were we saying? Oh, right. They had a lawsuit against another Kickstarter project from Game Trades called Forsaken. And during that lawsuit, a few YouTube channels who cover Forsaken got copyright struck, and now there are several creators who refuse to cover CGS games. The lawsuit itself was described as frivolous by a few onlookers, so keep this tidbit in mind if the effects of these legal issues matter to you. Right, that was it. That was from the great people in my Discord who honestly, are so much more informed than I am. My Patreon community is just the tops. I get to steal their ideas, and they get to donate money to my channel. It's a perfect symbiotic relationship where I'm the symbiote. What's this one? A cooperative boss battler for 1 to 4 players. So it's Dante Inferno with a different skin, set in a brutal Nordic world where mortals and spirits unite to defy the Ironborn gods. 12 unique fights. It really just is Dante Inferno with a different skin. New saga of tactical depth, mythic battles, and endless replayability. Boss battler, one-shot battles with great character progressions and dozens of builds. Cool. 12 scenarios for 36 battles in the core box. 5 champions and 5 berserker spirits for 25 character builds just on the core box. So it's your berserker who rolls 2 dice instead of 3, or your berserker who rolls 4 dice instead of 2. I imagine these aren't going to be the wild mashups that we think they are. But I'm not upset with that. We've got yuck. We've got a rondelle system. That's going to be hard for dumb idiot me to understand. Or to play well, I should say. From the right action at the right time to make most of your action cubes. I think people in my Discord also played this, right? What was Faithbreaker saying? Pretty straightforward games. Barely any upkeep. General flows, you try to kill all the enemies to gain XP while securing objectives, fending off damage. Oh, right. Yeah, I thought that did look cool. Each side had a specific effect when standing in a tile adjacent to each of it, and the boss had a passive that he took 1 less damage for each side that was destroyed. So for the final boss, this one right here, there was like you chipped away at this boss's health, and he got more interesting and more damage as it went on. Said it seemed better balanced with two-handing rather than true solo because the boss jumped around the map a ton. It was tough to spend actions walking to one side of the map just for the boss to reposition on another side. Saying, I would offer this only if you really want a rondelle system in a boss battler, you really want Norse mythology combined with futuristic tech in a game that's not Lords of Ragnarok, you want a potentially rare boss battler, assuming this one fulfills despite its low order numbers at the moment, and you don't expect a retail or reprint. Okay, yeah, I'm not prepared to be blown away by this, but I think it should be fine. I think that's the vibe that was going around. How you play, you choose a scenario, you choose a god, you build your character, so you combine these two things together, which will give you stats to start. The more cubes you have, the stronger an action becomes, so you have that rondelle mechanism as you go around and try to attack and defeat enemies with your rondelle. Yeah, destroy all 6 faces of the Ironborn god. I like that concept of destroying each face. I think that's what Marvel United should have been, but wasn't. Let's take a look at the rule book, but I appreciate having people who have tried it out on Tabletop Simulator, and you can try this out on Tabletop Simulator if you're interested. I think the rondelle is the draw here, right? I think the rondelle for sure is the draw here. If you really love rondelle mechanisms and you wish that you had a boss battler with a rondelle, as Faithbreaker was saying, then it's worthwhile grabbing, or worthwhile considering, I should say. That is kind of fun, both sides. But it's just different skills, right? Different changes. I like as you're gaining fury, you're gaining additional stuff. Bad rulebook structure. I love that we learned how to destroy minions before we learned how to do anything as a champion. Move, attack, heal, perform rituals. Strategic actions are always available to you, I assume. Relocating their action cubes. Taunting a god. So you can just reset. Honestly, you should read this rulebook back to front, is what it feels like. So rituals get you additional special skill charge cubes, which you need to discard to activate your special skills. Okay. Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like. A very simple boss battler. The rondelle mechanism limiting what actions you can do and you having to work within the strengths of that limitation. I see what Alex is saying. Streamlined accessibility of a game like Dice Throne, aka you really don't do much. You just move things around. How much is the entry pledge? 79. 79 is actually surprising. Oh, it's because it's a standee pledge. Sure. Yeah, get the standee pledge. Do it. The standees look fun. Although the whole conceit of it attaching to you, I guess you just put them in the same standee, or you just don't get to use them. To put your mini in the mini. But we have a standee pledge, but we're not going to tell you how they fit together. So 79 plus shipping, 17, or it doubles if you are getting the minis. Yeah, I think this looks fine. But again, why are you spending so much money on fine? You want to spend so much money on exceptional, really. That finishes on the 23rd at 11 a.m. We're not going to cover this one, Cyberpunk Legends Into the Night, which is a shame because it's raised a bunch of money. Must have some IP But yeah, Cyberpunk Legends, where you could have gotten a 20% discount if only you'd heard about it. But yeah, also uses the $1 pre-pledge, which again, we don't like. And then we're on to Don't Starve! Don't Starve, which now crossed that $3 million bar on the official tabletop adaptation of Don't Starve, a 1 to 4 player roguelike adventure, explore, craft, fight, and survive together or alone. Don't Starve sent me down a dang rabbit hole, okay? The video game for Don't Starve is so good. It's too addicting. I haven't played it since I did the 5 Reasons You Shouldn't Back on Don't Starve, and I don't think I can ever play it again because it's way too addicting. I thought Don't Starve looked fine. As a recap of the 5 Reasons You Shouldn't Back, that goes into the mechanics in more detail, but I thought the deluxe pledge was silly, naturally, as I usually do. The standard pledge is just as good. The only thing you get a difference is these minis, which aren't useful. They're just like Awakened Realms. They're standees, essentially. They get placed on the board and they get taken off. Whoopity-doo. I thought the crafting in Don't Starve looked fun, that you're going to continually get these resources and you're going to have to cook them and craft them into different things, either different weapons, different useful things, fighting off your hunger. This is a game of attrition, essentially, is what it boils down to. You will try to not let your 3 stats drop, and they will drop. And if you can make them drop the least while going around and doing stuff, then you will win the game and potentially win the scenario. If they continue to drop and you can't deal with that drop, then you're gonna die, or both. So it's $79 and that US, and then 24 Canadian. So that works out to be, for shipping at least, 23, 24 to get to USA or Canada. That's going to be $150 still for this standard pledge. It certainly does not excite me to the degree the video game does. I think it would be wild if it did, because the video game is so good, and I don't think this can capture it. But I do appreciate the design structure. I think it is going to be a pretty decent survival game. I think Glass Cannon Unplugged is known for doing a good job at these sorts of things, and I don't see any red flags in terms of the design space, but I just think, it's okay. If it wasn't Don't Starve themed, I think I would glaze over it. And I think that would happen for a lot of people if you stripped away the mechanisms. And so because of that, I'm not really interested or considering it whatsoever for me personally. But if you're interested, check it out. That finishes Thursday, October 23rd at 5:59 p.m. Next up, we have this Grimdark Future Broken Truth, the 2-player battle box. A huge 2-player starter box for Grimdark Future by 1-page rules. Includes 2 full armies and everything you need to play. It's saying the largest miniature war game on Patreon is now available in plastic for the first time. So clearly this was a rules set of a game that existed solely on Patreon, and they decided to create a copy for those of you who don't have a 3D printer to print minis, who don't have minis that you can proxy, and who wanted to get these minis looking how the creators envisioned them. These are always going to be expensive things. War games, I feel, are probably the priciest and worst value of most board games because they're the collectible card games, but in plastic form. But if you want to spend $100 US, 143 Canadian, I'll leave this link down below. That's about all I'm interested in looking into it. I don't really like war games, although I did get sent the intro to Battle for Hoth from Asmodee that they're putting out recently. So I'm going to play that with Zach, and I'm going to see how I like it and maybe talk about it. I figured, I was like, oh, it's an intro set to a new Star Wars thing. It might be fun. It might not. I'm not sure. But that's currently the only sort of interest that I have in it. But if you're interested, check it out. That finishes on the 23rd at 8 p.m. Moving along, we have this, which has now crossed $1 million US, I think. Phew, just in time for me to cover it on Crowdfunding Countdown. We have Heroes of Might and Magic, the card game. I imagine this is just Heroes of Might and Magic, the tabletop game, and they're just calling it the card game, and it's going to have the same mechanisms. Because you know what the tabletop game was? It was basically just a card game. A big old lane battler. So I wonder if it's just that stripped from the other things and put into a card game. I don't know. Let's see. This tactical, expandable, card game is based on the... Oh, I see some lanes. Oh, maybe you're just shifting people around. The game allows you to take the role of iconic heroes and use familiar armies to engage in strategic 1v1 battles. The game features various mechanics such as spell casting, resource management, stacking units, and much more, taken straight from the video game. Sure, let's look at this trailer first. I love I love trailers that have to animate cards and try to make it look cool, and like you end up just getting that little wiggle. Like I love that little card wiggle. Ooh, it's shifting forward. It's so creepy and scary. Ooh. You're just playing cards in a grid. Come on. I want a full series of these skeleton hands facing these demon hands. I want to know what's their deal. Like, are they friends? Are they enemies? I'm sensing some real tension between these guys. They're really trying to show off to each other, you know? Look at that. You're just pulling out all the stops. And look at the skeleton. He's coming up. He's going to be tapping his little fingers. It's going to happen. And the sexual tension there, I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading into it, but it's going to, yeah, there you go. I mean, tippity tap, he's like, I'm waiting. And then summoning all the cards, like, hold on. It's the most sort of tension-filled card game I've ever seen. Okay, so you get a big box for €129. Oh, this tells you where my mind actually goes and said, why it's so awesome. I really read this as why it's so expensive. Like maybe because I saw the experience and I was scrolling, and so I saw XP, and my mind just put those two things together, but I think that's pretty funny. All right, it seems pretty simple. You're going to have your own deck, your own starter deck of units and whatever. You will summon them on the board attached to your hero. There'll be locations that you can move around to go to, and you want to just kill the opposing person. They'll have a summoning cost, they'll have an attack value, they'll have a health value, they'll have a movement value, and they'll have special abilities in terms of how you activate them. Let's say with unit stacking, that just means you can summon the same unit if it's on the board and make it stronger. So the core starter set gives you 2 decks and a big neoprene mat to play on. At least that's probably why it's going to be expensive, because I assume the neoprene is going to cost €49, 81.82. I mean, neoprene mats are expensive, and then it's just a bunch of cards. You are going to get a little bit extra with it. It's not as bad as I was expecting, honestly. €49 okay, 81 Canadian, and then with shipping to Canada, 28. US 24, EU 18. It's like $100 for this starter set. I don't know. Even though you're not getting a lot of content, I would like this more than like a war game because it's set on a different map. I know they're pushing that you can build and combine your decks together, and that's probably what's hooking a lot of people in, is those who like deck construction are being drawn into this. The basics of the game seem pretty simple, and then like any of these games, it's going to be determined by your additional units, attacks, all the cool stuff that they can do. I don't mind that you can just summon people in. Oh, there is a rule book. I don't even feel like I need to read it, but yeah, I do need to read it in terms of how they. I do need to know where I'm from. I forget what I was saying, but I think it's just going to be depending on how cool things are. I want to know how you get your statistics in. Starting statistics equal the number listed on your hero card. How do you grow them? Just by going to different locations. They had a weird thing in that video saying, now you don't shuffle your deck at the beginning because you need to draw certain things, and then you shuffle your deck. Just, you can mulligan. Makes sense. So you can take as many turns as you want until you pass. Interesting. You can wait out your opponent then, if possible. Okay, cool. So you have a bunch of base statistics. I do like this. And then you can spend cards as sort of one-time statistics from your hand. And that will be how you get more people on the board as well. I think mechanically this seems fine. It's just not something that I want to spend $100 on. It certainly seems better than the other Heroes of Might and Magic board game, though. Like, I'm more willing to go on this journey than I was to go on that one. I didn't think that one looked that good at all, or the follow-up to it. So this is definitely the best Heroes of Might and Magic, at least like board game wise for my own tastes, that I've seen. Still not something I'm really interested, but worthwhile saying. That finishes on the 24th at 3 p.m. Next up, I just wanted to check this out. I always love checking out board game bags to see if there's anybody who can hold a candle or who can compete with boardgametables.com. Sorry, I'll play. The amount of time that it takes me to load this just for this joke, but I can't stop it. Yeah, this hasn't raised a bunch, but I do really like this playmat section on the side. I want to check it out, see how expensive this is. Well, board games can't fit in that bag. Wait a minute, it's grown? Whoa, it can fold up into that little pouch. I thought it was a different bag that they were making. This is a fantastic video. This is a great video. Can't put it on his backpack, but you can just still do shoulder strap. What's the catch here? 69 pounds, 130 Canadian. That's the catch. And then plus shipping is like 150, whereas the other ones are like 100 Canadian, so definitely a little bit less, but this looks really good. The board game zone. What else have you done? Oh, they did Dice Dangle. I remember Dice Dangle, where you dangle your little dice around your neck in a little canister. You open it up and you shoot out your dice everywhere. Oh, now they've really up-leveled from there. This looks great. I mean, it's tough because they haven't done this before, but it looks like just I doubt that it's very thick, right? But presumably the outside is good enough to hold things. I love this accessory pouch. I love that you can put things on the side. 25 kilograms, burden borne with ease. Holds up to 25 kilograms without faltering, 50 pounds. Heavy loads, no penalty. The pack endures. Yeah, I often schlep around a lot of really heavy games in my bag, so much so that I've broken the straps on a few of them. Shipping to Canada, 12 pounds, UK, 10 pounds. I might need to contact these guys. I think I'm going to contact these guys. Yeah, literally sent them a message. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't get it in time for this thing to be over, but I assume that they'll have a web store or whatever, because this seems really interesting. If you can get a lightweight foldable thing that can still protect your games, could be a really nice alternative, because I do like my other bags, but the one thing is that they do take up still a decent amount of space in the cupboard when they're not holding game bags. And if I could have this as like a travel friendly one, might be a game changer, really. I'm quite impressed by the concept that they're pushing, but because they're first time campaign doing this bag, all we see is the prototype and that's it, and no videos or testimonials. I'll try to get a video and see, or another video that I was thinking about doing was like what to look for in a board game bag, because I really do love my bag from boardgametables.com. Sorry, All Play. Wait, no, it's still boardgametables.com because that's the one that I have. I have like an older model. My parents got me that for Christmas one year. And then I have the Crafting Kingdoms bag as well. And I think both of those find a really interesting balance. I can get a lot more stuff in the Crafting Kingdoms, but really how it folds open is not as enviable for me. But I do love that it can slip onto the wheelies. And I thought like, oh, the wheelie is the game changer. And then I saw some people with strictly wheelie boardgametables.com bags, sorry, All Play. And I was like, oh, maybe that isn't as flexible, because I think folding it down and then storage becomes a little bit more of an issue. So finding that balance, I think Crafting Kingdoms has a nice thing. Finding a nice affordable one. I know my boardgametables.com bag is more affordable. It's certainly more affordable than this one. And so like, is this worth the additional upkeep? I don't know. I think it would be a potentially good video. I like being a resource for everybody and make sure that you get great stuff at the best price. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they get back to me ever. But I really like the potential of what this bag is doing. However, with an unproven company, it's a tough sell, especially when there are already really great things on the market and there are no real reviews up here. So hopefully they get some reviews out there and we can check it out. That finishes Sunday, October 26th at 6:48 a.m. Quick change. Let's check it out. Doomtile. Spells rumble and swords clash. Heroes fall. And the very ground gets reshaped. Few rules, countless options, only your wit to rely on. And a VHS tape? And a VHS tape? Come on, baby. They're just like, this might be an old design, so it's okay if we lean into it. Quick tactical brawls in a shape-shifting arena. €49. That's the core game? That's the core game. $80 Canadian. 3 rounds, bring your chosen hero to victory by defeating your opponents. 3 fast and merciless rounds. 25 to 40 minutes of play. Okay, you got a bunch of cards. You're running around an arena. Ground-altering powers. You can destroy the tiles. That's cool. And rebuild them, and you get probably a benefit if you're on a specific type. Combat is a tactical showdown where you commit cards from your hand and attack and defend. You can hide, as an attacker, you hide one of your cards face down. I see. I like that. There's a little element of bluffing there. I always love that in a game. That's always fun for me. Mana, so there's a mana engine. Okay. Move, walk on forest, slide on ice, and stray through the sands. Okay, so it's not really a benefit to you specifically, but so ice lets you move from one to the other. Breach treasures to get your heroic skills, and complete secret quests, get 10 points. Rulebook, yeah. I think this actually looks pretty decent. I think it's too expensive, right? As everything always is, but I like that it's dual use cards as well, that you're using your cards for attack and for their abilities, or either rather. Yeah, I think this looks better than something like Grossmaster Arena. It looks like a simple mythic battles to me. A little bit more card driven. I like that you're running around in this free-for-all brawl. You know what? I think this looks quite fun. €49 makes it 80 Canadian, makes it $100 for me after shipping, right? 30 to Canada, so more like 110, 120. Certainly not something that I'm really interested in considering. But what was the shipping? If you're in the EU was, oh, in Italy, you can get it for 5. EU is still 15, so still kind of expensive in the UK. I don't know, if you're in Italy, check it out. I think this might have legs, so I think it's a weird thing that it's giving you 3 boxes, but in the boxes you have to like have different things. Maybe that'll be better for storage. Like you open, okay, I gotta think about the storage, how it's being created. You have all the tiles in one box, sure, like it's all in 3 boxes on a shelf. You pull, that's one, that's just your storage container. Pull out your deck and your cards and your other thing. I just think it seems weird to be doing it in 3 boxes when you could do it in 1 box. Like, I don't understand the reasoning for these different VHSs, because you need all 3 to play the game. It's not like anything is additional content, but maybe it's just because I don't get the theming of it being a VHS tape. I don't understand why. I mean, they're pulling it out so it just has different storage options. Maybe it's cheaper than just doing it all in 1 box. I don't know, though. That's just a bit weird to me. But yeah, I think the game actually looks decently fun. A quick little skirmishy game. It's probably not something that I would pull out all the time, but worthwhile looking into. That finishes Sunday, October 26th at 12 p.m. Okay, moving along to Era of Atlantis, which has reached its funding goal, and I'm so happy for Channing Jones that it has reached its funding goal. This is a relaunch of Era of Atlantis. It was on, when was it up? Let's see. Yeah, it was about a year ago, October 29th. It finished November 5th-ish, about a year ago. We covered it a little in episode 161, and I'm just going to take a brief moment to see what past Chris had to say. Chris has an I told you so about Blood Rage Valhalla in episode 161. You can go back and watch it if you want. Because there is a campaign mode if you have Galactic Era as well. This is by the designer of Galactic Era. I don't know if I said that. Galactic Era, which is awesome. It's so good. I love it. It's fantastic. It's a great 4X game, and it's one that I haven't played in a long time, and I need to get it back to the table because it's so good. But you can play a game of Era of Atlantis, and then you can just get a bump to your stats on Galactic Era, and then you play a game of Galactic Era, and you say, hey, whoever wins Galactic Era wins. So the Era of Atlantis, it doesn't really matter. And that was exactly what Blood Rage, the campaign, the connector for Blood Rage and Blood Rage Valhalla was. And I referenced that in that video. And I said, haha, there was a little sneaky thing. I kept a secret the whole time, and then they killed me with the $1 pre-pledge. But, okay, let's talk about Era of Atlantis. Look at these two beautiful races getting together. The goal of Era Atlantis, it's a worker placement and area control board game set in a distant mythical sci-fi past where you control 2 nations at the same time, and you share one with the other player. And so you're boosting up both of these nations, and your score is going to be the lesser of the 2 nations. But there's also ways for you to get individual points as well to boost up your own score, which I really, really like. I think that mechanism of holding those 2 things and just being like, oh, I have the lower score over here, so that's my score, and you balanced yours a bit better, so your lower score is higher than my lower score. Your lower score is my highest score. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not the hugest fan of it. Not the largest fan, not the biggest fan, not the giganticest fan of it, but I think it's fine. You're a secret society seeking to expand the 2 powerful nations you control. Combat, everybody can always kind of get involved in combat too and add additional influence. So if people are battling, you can always influence one nation or the other because you're a secret society. Honestly, yeah, you should just get Galactic Era. Galactic Era, highly recommend. If you like 4X games, it's so good. Era of Atlantis board game, plus, oh, I thought it just said plus a rulebook, but it says plus your name in the rulebook. You take a worker, you activate a space on your mat for your nation. So both nations can do different things, and on your turn you can be like, okay, I'm going to prioritize activating this nation versus activating that nation. I think that's also cool because you are wanting to use your power to boost up your other nation as well. And so there's going to naturally be that conflict of, yes, I want to build this building, but I don't want to build this building where I might need to expand into from my other nation. Or you build it on some parts of the edge of the parts of your nation so that your other person can't attack you. Feels like there could be some cool interplay. That means you definitely need 3 players to play this though, right? And I think with the Galactic Era, you need 3 players as well, at least. There is the rulebook, same rulebook I think as before, which to be fair, I didn't remember a lot of this until watching Chris from the past. Like sometimes I read through a rule book and a year later I've still got it in my head. But this one I didn't, and that feels a bit telling to me. But I think that's just probably because of the complexity of this, and maybe I didn't really give it a thorough read because it wasn't going to fund last time. It was only at 67% of its goal, and I knew that effusive praise from me couldn't put that up. A game with 3 players uses a passive 4th major nation. It can be used as a target for attacks without negatively affecting any of the player's partners. Interesting. So really, it's a 4-player game, right? And I think that's probably tough because people love the solo, and the whole aspect of these games is that they're not solo games, really. I don't know how the Galactic Era solo is. I know it has a solo mode. I've never played it, but I like how the board is structured. I like that there are empty spaces. Not every space is worth a point, but they might have tactical importance. So I think that's kind of neat. Yeah, I think I'm more excited about this than I was the last time that I read through. It's one of those games where I'm seeing the inner workings a little bit more on the second go around, like The Wire. Viriat says it can be youth victory points, but it's basically your currency. I like this communication rule. All talk must be understandable to everyone. Secret communication is not allowed because you're going to have a chance to influence bids, and so they want that to be all out in the open. Yeah, this game looks really good. Dang, if I didn't just back Uprising, I probably should have saved it for this. I like this. You can place 0 agents, but you'd be like, why are you placing 0 agents wherever you want? Because then there's the threat that you might swap those agents with other agents and then strike a coup. So even just having 0 agents everywhere is a bit scary, which I think that's fun. Oh, I see. So you can lose units to turn them into sailors. You can be like, we need to have a ferryman. Joe, you're staying behind. And I guess I should clarify that it's all involved players, but like if your team is moving in against your other team, well, you know who you're going to help, right? Or maybe your team's moving in and you don't want them to win for some reason. I think the potential there is fun. Yeah, I think this is a tough one because it relies on having a lot of players. Well, a lot of players, like 4 players at least, you know? It relies on having that large game group in order to make it happen. It says 3 to 5 players. I imagine 4 to 5 is better because of that random nation, but maybe not. I mean, the nation's just there to take up space on the board, right? But you still need to have those people who are willing to commit to a pretty intense, expanding type of affair. But yeah, I really like Galactic Era. I thought Galactic Era was awesome. I thought it was a triumph. I gave it 5 out of 5. It's in my top 60 games. Like, it's really, really good. So the pedigree of that game makes me have a lot of faith in this designer that this will come out in a good way. The things that I've seen in the rulebook seem fun. I don't mind. I mind the 2 players controlling things in the smaller a lot less if there are more ways to get your own victory points. I think a lot of that can sometimes just be a bit of a gimmick to stop you from doing half of your turn, you know, that somebody else is controlling things and can sway things. But I'm willing to think of it as something positive because of the designer here. So I'm thrilled, super thrilled that they hit their goal. Their goal last time was also 30,000 Canadian. So it seems that they lowered the goal, but they also hit the goal as well. I think if any of this sounds interesting to you, it is absolutely worth taking a deep look. If there's a kernel of interest here, just because I know the designer is so good, Galactic Era was awesome, and these are the things that crowdfunding is made for. You know, it is exactly these projects large in scope, from a small designer who's just doing it all himself. So yeah, I think it's really wicked. You should check it out. That finishes on the 26th at 4 p.m. Okay, moving along to Honor's End, a co-op deck builder with an optional narrative campaign. Unravel the mysteries of Valoria and discover the true meaning of honor. We're almost nearing $1 million Canadian. Thankfully, it won't hit there in time for me to, well, it's usually $1 million US for 5 reasons you shouldn't Mac. But I'm interested. This is Ivy Studios. I have really enjoyed Ivy Studios games. I've played Veiled Fate, Moonrakers, Fractured Sky, Moon Rollers from their catalog. I haven't played Brink, Tend, or Mythic Mischief. Those are my blind spots with them. But I like deck building, and I know that a bunch of people in my Discord have also been playing this and trying this out on Tabletop Simulator, and I'm going to go look for their comments as well, but I'm going to watch the video. I heard that the solo mode isn't that great here, and that it just boils down to a bunch of symbols and you doesn't feel thematic at all. But I don't care. I don't find any of Ivy Studios games to feel thematic. I'm interested to see the co-op aspect though, because one of the main things that I like about their design decisions, Ivy Studios, is that they deal with a lot of what I refer to as above the table interaction, that you need a good group and that the framework that they provide is fun as long as you have a good group or the right group to engage with it. And so I'm interested to see if by making a co-op game, it becomes, not that fun because you don't have to worry about the group's interaction. So I'm interested. Yeah, Moonrakers, they're like, we want to make a deck builder with Moonrakers. Moonrakers, to me, the deck building wasn't interesting. Sorry, Ivy Studios. It was pretty basic. But the interesting part was the negotiation and was the table talk and was how the players interacted with these deck building aspects. I really like that concept of multi-use cards. Yeah, I am a big fan of Ivy Studios games. I really am. I like all of their stuff. I find Fractured Sky is going a little down for me because Raw exists. And that's the only thing. Is I'm like, it kind of gives me the same feeling of Raw, and I like Raw better. But I love Veiled Fate. I think Veiled Fate is really great. Definitely my favorite out of all of them. And I really like them as a company. I mean, I don't really have a relationship with Zach, but I have met and hung out and played games with Austin a bunch, and I really like Austin as a person too, so that for sure factors in a bit. But also, the thing about Ivy Studios and we are directly opposed to each other because all their stuff is always so expensive for what it is. Like, it always feels overpriced to me, but I'm cheap. So, so I'm going to read up what my patrons have been saying about their play tests of Honor's End first, and then I'll read through the rulebook, and then I'll do a summation of what they like, and then I'll read through the rulebook if I have additional questions. Yeah, the card play, fantastic. The number of different ways that a card can be played, I think that's great. I think Moonrakers did have some sort of auto turns in terms of what you did, and I really liked in their video that they said we wanted to avoid the auto turn thing, so what did? We just made every card be worth 3 things. So you just have multiple options, and I think that's great. Always that choice makes you feel cool, makes you feel clever when a cool combo pops off. So you can tuck a card under a card, you can discard a card to help somebody else, which I love in a co-op. That sensation. Like, one of my favorite things to do in my favorite deck builder, Attack on Titan, the deck builder, you can build an entire deck just supporting the other person. And you're like, oh yeah, you need some power? Great, draw this card, draw this card, draw this card, draw this card. And your whole deck can just be about superpowering somebody else. And then you feel great when they get to do like the ultimate kill shot. So I think that's neat. Oh, there's equipment as well. The equipment feels great. Great, I'll have to read about what the equipment does. Shared upgrades so no one gets left behind. 3 bosses per chapter is very good. It lets fights evolve, escalate in a very natural feeling way. Dice are well balanced. Rerolls are plentiful. Simultaneous play for deck build. Does that make sense? You have your hand of cards and you're just like, I'll do my own thing. This game is all the good parts, talking and planning with your friends, helping each other out, powering up, costing at the boss, and then playing the combo-tastic stuff on your turn. 2.5 hours at 3 players for a 3-boss chapter for the first play. It's great. Teach is simple, 10 to 15 minute teach time of game, probably 2.5, 3.0 weight sort of game. The bad. We are all symbols. There's 2 tracks you go up. Power up, yellow and blue. Forget their names. Monarchy and Temple? I don't know. Blue and yellow. They give you bonuses. I'm glad there's 2 of them, but I think it says something that I don't remember what they're called. Likewise, the cards have 3 different types. Blue, yellow, and green. It's very forgettable. Cards have names, but who cares? Bosses have little flavor. Symbology isn't great right now. And then biggest gripe is scaling across player counts. At 2 players, when you level up, you reveal 3 cards for those 2 players to choose between. At 4 players, you reveal 5 cards. Sounds fine. It's fine, except there are some cool synergies to be found within these decks. And at 2 players, you're going to be a lot less likely to hit those synergies by virtue of revealing fewer cards. AKA the unknown. Not sure what chapter by chapter progression will look like. The story seems just okay. I would imagine that. Will the game get old and repetitive? Will there be enough boss variety to keep things fresh? I think if there's enough combos, And then so how it compares, this is all a write-up from Dwayne Ski in the Discord, or the ghost of Duaneski, I'm not sure. And so he then just compared it to Primal the Awakening, saying it's a bit lighter than that, but takes a similar amount of time. But the card play compares favorably. Aeon's End, lack of card market, means Honor's End will have players comparably randomly ending up in their final state for what their character builds look like. And obviously the bosses in Aeon's End are going to be way better than the bosses in Honor's End. They're not the same company, to be clear. They just sound the same. And then he compared it to Unstoppable as well. And then also Faithbreaker tried it out. Card play is pretty fun, has some similarities to Moonraker and Dominion in the amount of cards you can play and how to increase the amount, but it's split into 2 types, which let you play things in different areas. Oh yeah, the yellow and the blue tracks being tech trees. Again, emphasizing on the writing is just fine. Everyone's like, the writing's so amazing in every game that is ever made, and it's never going to be, it's never really great. Like, I don't think I hear I need to try Oathsworn, I guess, because I think Oathsworn is the only one where people have been like, no, the writing is good. Read a book. It's like World of Warcraft NPC side quest text. Yeah, and just the solo mode feels like it needs tweaks. And again, that RNG can screw you if you don't draw the right cards that fit with your build. So yeah, all in all positive. I think just like a decent reviews from the couple people who have played it. This font is really draws me in and makes me think that everything is amazing. They sure know how to make a campaign though. Like, oh baby. Yeah, I like this as a little tech tree. As you go up, you can just go straight up or you can go left and right. Will you swear loyalty to the monarchy or devote yourself to the temple? Nah, it's yellow and blue. It's yellow and blue. Adding some rolling into your deck building is fun. There was another game that did that with card-driven stuff recently. Yeah, I think that simultaneous play seems pretty cool. Let's see the rulebook. Yes. Game objective, defeat the enemy. Oh, cool. The current leader chooses one of their equipment cards and places it on the leader totem on it, and then everybody gets to use that benefit. You can also chain cards together by playing it to the right of it with this little arrow, which is neat. And your actions are basically shielding yourself, drawing additional cards, discarding, playing, damaging, getting dice and rolling them, re-rolling them, moving up on the tracks and trashing. Yeah, otherwise, it seems like it's a standard deck builder. You're going to get additional cards. You're going to try to see how much damage you can do to the bosses, and you're going to do that together. 59 is not bad, right? It's certainly one of the most reasonable Ivy Studios games I may have seen ever. Of course, there's deluxe, triple layer honored boards, player dials, swirled dice, limited edition box, 40 holographic and foil cards. Who needs it? Almost 3,000 people, over 244. I appreciate that the base is still there. Nobody cares about it. I'm the only one who cares about it. And the people who care about it don't spend the money anyway, so you might as well deluxify everything and make more money that way as a company. I think that's how Ivy Studios has achieved success. So, don't listen to me talking about deluxe, but I'm still going to share my opinion, because even though it isn't valid, it is mine. And who doesn't love shiny things? True, I have a shiny foil card for Dune Imperium because it's the Worm Riders, because that was the promo card for WSPG. Yeah, I think the key here is the multi-use cards and the simultaneous play. Those are the highlights for me. Shipping, what's shipping going to be? Canada, 24. US, 16. So, similar. UK, 12. Yeah, it's just that the US has gone up because of, I think this looks good. I think this is a game that I would absolutely enjoy playing. I love deck builders as well. It seems like they have upped the complexity and potentially learned lessons from Moonrakers. So yeah, a solid option, especially that $59 realm. $100. I mean, $100 is expensive for a deck builder as well, but you're paying for shipping. You're always going to have to pay for shipping. That finishes Monday, October 27th at 4 p.m. Moving along, we've got Berserk. Oh man, Berserk got me so hyped. I need to go back to watching the anime, but I'm watching Kaiju number 8 right now, and oh man, it's so fun. It's so good. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. Oh yeah. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the Berserk anime, because also was really good, just like certainly not as fun, not as lighthearted as Kaiju number 8. Although Kaiju number 8 has a lot of heart to it. Anyway, Berserk the board game, I did a 5 reasons you shouldn't back about this as well. This video got me so hyped. And I think I'm going to parrot what a lot of people have been saying in my Discord as well, that if this were $100, I would probably get it. I would really consider it if there was like $100, because it's just a light beer and pretzels game. You're going to be chucking dice. You're going to be swapping down hordes of monsters with your sword. That's where you're just going to swap them down. You're going to sword them down. I think it looks really fun. I like the fatigue element as well, where the more cards you play, the more fatigue you get, and if you max out your fatigue track, you die. So I think that's neat as well. A really nice board design, and there are little negative effects that will happen to you as you move up on this fatigue track, but you naturally want to play more cards, so I think that's pretty cool. I think the anime is so good as well. I love the art style, and I love using the art style. I think you're going to get into a situation where you're probably just going to play the same cards over and over and over again, where you're like, oh, this is my best combo, but maybe not, and I'm hoping for the maybe not, and I think the minis are going to be gigantic. Oh, there was also a Roigi Biv why you should back this scale, which I'm sure Vault Boy might put down in the comments. I gotta find it again. But yeah, ultimately it boils down to this is way too expensive for what it is. I wish it were a lot cheaper so I could take a risk on it for the amount that I would play it and the amount of space, physical space, that it would take up in my house. I can't afford to buy this. I don't have the space for it. I don't. It's not something worth considering, because I literally don't have the space for it, and if it were in my house, I would be overwhelmed and I would be upset, and I wouldn't be getting rid of 7 to 10 games, which is the size of what it is, to make room for it. I don't think it's worth that. but I do think it looks fun enough. That finishes on the 27th at 6:59 p.m. Moving along, we're going to move on to Base on Board, the ultimate head-to-head baseball showdown. Baseball board game for ages 12 and up. Will you play it safe or swang for the fances? Oh no. You're just rolling dice and adding it to an app. Okay, so it looks like you are going to play a card and then roll and hope you hit the thing on the card, right? Am I missing anything? You draw your play cards, get your hand of strategic options. You throw your pitch to see if you can strike them out. Yellow die to see the type of hit, and blue die to determine the outcome. Then depending upon the roll, you can introduce your strategy cards to change the outcome of the dice. Okay, so you roll the dice, and then you're like, I have this card that matches it. And you hope that the other people don't have a defense card that says, I block that. There doesn't seem to be any bluffing. There's no rule book. If you're a big baseball fan, apparently there are some other things, like he's talking about statistics in these videos as well. But it's just timing of when do you play the card, and then you roll the dice and you see if your card goes, and anticipating what people are going to roll or what people are going to play. I don't think it sounds as much about the mind as it is luck. I think it sounds just about luck, honestly. It's a cool little box board, but... $96 for this? Who cares? You're rolling a dice and you're seeing what happens. Like, no, that finishes October 28th at 1 a.m. I'm sure I am missing things. If only they had a rule book that I could look into more depth about the mechanics of it. But they don't, so we're moving on. Moving on to this, Return to Dark Tower Expeditions. It's raised over $1 million, a new expansion to a distant land, new challenges and heroes, and more. The sold-out Return to Dark Tower and expansions will also be available. So I didn't do a 5. My patrons were blowing up my phone saying, are you going to do a 5 reasons? I'm not, because we did one on this already, and I think it stands. Dark Tower is one of those things that has, like, enormous toy factor, right? I've played it before. I've played it once. I enjoyed the play. I like how the app manages most of the upkeep. I think that's great. But otherwise, I found it to be just kind of fine. There wasn't wild swings of excitement for me, but it was a good time. I think it was an average nice time. I like the toy factor of it for sure. Yeah, apparently the first two expansions don't work well together, but this is going to be cross-compatible with other expansions. I don't know. Do you like Pandemic? Do you think Pandemic needed a tower that spat diseases out at you? I mean, now that I say it out loud, yes, obviously, that is a yes. I'm aware. I do hear the things as they come out of my mouth, but it's, it's fine. There are locations you don't want so many skulls to build up on them, and you don't know when the skulls will build up on them. The tower spins around and spits out skulls, and it's scary and fun. It's also, like, so expensive. For the base game, $160, $225, I can get the exact same thrill that I get from Dark Tower with Pandemic, maybe more so with different variations of Pandemic. So what does Expeditions even bring? I mean, if you have Dark Tower and you love it, I'm not going to be able to talk you off the fence for this. You probably just auto-back without even looking into it. Each plan uses a single expedition board, adding variability between games. Okay, so there's all just a different track. That's what an expedition board is. It's a track. You gather supplies, you send explorers to exotic distant lands. Spend moves and resources to advance the expedition. How far will you venture before you return to collect your bounty? Yeah, you just spend actions on here to get different rewards, and you get a couple extra people. I don't know. There's a new difficulty level if you're too good at the game. There's some additional virtues. These are things that you can unlock throughout on your player board. But the system is very simple. If you haven't played Dark Tower before, it's very simple. You each are like the warden of a specific compass point. So you might be the warden of the north or something like that. And you will have a special ability because of being that warden of the north. And you start in that land. And generally you're going to stay in that land and manage that sector, but you can go out and fight some other stuff if you need to. You'll run around, you'll clear the monsters from the land. There's a battle system that you'll use the app for, that you'll choose your attacks through. You'll also try to purge the skulls from locations. Different locations will allow you to do different things. That's one of the main reasons why you'll venture off into a different location. But for the most part, you're sticking to your own side and upkeeping it in a way that feels similar to Pandemic and less interesting than Spirit Island. Like, everyone's like, oh, there's so many setups and challenges for endless replayability. They're just like different items. Yeah, I'd hope that it was replayable. I don't know. I'm very underwhelmed by this game. If this game were $60, I'd say, yeah, it's fun. Get it. It's 200. It's 160. I say, whatever. That finishes on Tuesday, October 28th at 8:30 a.m. A lot of Tuesday finishers. Another one of these being Tekton Dash. It has very few backers, but we'll see. Race through the chaotic and cunning competition of a puzzle collecting game for 3 to 6 dashers. Yeah, it's just like a Mario Party game, is what this feels like. Yeah, I imagine it would be better as an app, so I'm glad that it's going to be an app. Oh, and you're getting stars too. Yeah, look at that. I do like that it's on Tabletopia. I find Tabletopia is an underused resource. So many people do Tabletop Simulator, but you have to pay for that. And Tabletopia is pretty much the same. I think people like it less, but how to play. You move and collect tiles, you build your blueprint, play power-ups and surprises, rush to the finish line, and then you can have a personality like a BuzzFeed quiz. It's a weird hiccup. BuzzFeed quiz. Okay, but like, how do you do these things? Okay, so you have to run through, get your blueprint, and get to the podium. Okay, I like that there's a limited number of racing lanes if it's per people. Per people? Okay, you have 2 blueprints. A racetrack action. Move. Or a player board action. Oh, so if you've misplaced things, you can rearrange things. Basically, you take a tile, put a tile back, or spawn a tile. That's all you do. Yeah, all the flipping and flopping. The race in this book pretty much means nothing. You can sabotage people as well. Yeah, it's €41. I think this doesn't look very good at all. That finishes Tuesday, October 28th at 9:01 a.m. It's a Mario Party game that's been turned into a board game, and I think it's going to be better as an app, because the juice certainly doesn't seem to be worth the squeeze on this one. Ooh, I'm excited to check this one. Dungeon Date, mini expansions, and third printing. Romance, befriend, and slay monsters with 3 new expansions for the Dungeon Date card game. I'm excited about this because people were talking about it in my Discord. Highly recommend checking it out for a light, not just a party game. So that's somebody, Wilt in my Discord is getting the 3 expansions. I mean, it's got a great song. Oh no, the Dungeon Diva wants the love of the heroes for themselves. All right, this is a fast, funny card game. Build a stylish adventuring outfit to romance, befriend, and slay a dungeon full of monsters. So it's just, is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon, the anime, this game? How to play. You choose your actions secretly, you reveal, you visit that door so they're all lined up, you style to romance, befriend, or slay monsters, then collect the treasure. Romance, or slay, or befriend. Fight if you go to the same door, so you have different value power. Gain spite if you lose a fight, so you can gain additional power to overthrow people's bidding. So you're bidding on actions, essentially, is what it is, and only one of you will get to take that action, which I like. I think that it creates inherent conflict in a game. There's a clear best thing, but is everybody going to go for that clear best thing? How much are you going to commit to that clear best thing? Are you going to be able to take that thing? I think that is a very fun aspect in games. It immediately gives the opportunity for table talk. It immediately gives the opportunity for interaction. Monsters come in 4 types: earthy, woodsy, girthy, and fierce. No, undead and fierce. Black, eldritch is a different thing. Well, I don't know what I said. Earthy, thirsty, girthy, and flirsty. So it adds in a 5th player where you're just predicting what the other players will do. And if you do, then you're like, I knew you'd be here. Come flirt with me. That's very funny. Boss monsters, adding in a unique decree that happens throughout the game, and also it's harder to defeat them. Different symbols. Get wild with powerful but volatile potions. Cool. It just incentivizes, gives more things to get in the expansion. Yeah, it seems cute. Base game and all 3 mini expansions is $49, 69 Canadian. 1 mini expansion is $12. All the mini expansions are $24. So the base game was what, 25 then? I guess that's okay for a Kickstarter card game. Generally 25 is what they do. I would prefer 20 or 15, but okay, you can't choose the same action twice in a row. To succeed in slaying or befriending or romancing a monster, you have to have the set. So it's just different characteristics, and you track if you've romanced them or befriended them or slayed them. I mean, you have to romance them, right? I don't think you play this game with the other 2. I just think you romance the monsters. I don't understand why there would even be an option to do the other 2 things. I think you just romance them. You romance them good, and you romance them harder. Those are the 3 options. Yeah, and the previous round symbols add to your fight as well. So, which I really like. You're like, okay, I know that I want to build up, or I have the power for playing this the previous turn. Yeah, if you lose a fight while you have a spite, discard your spike card. Okay, when you have a monster in your romance pile, you can earn renown from dates. Monsters are either nice and like to befriend other monsters, or mean and like to slay other monsters. Those monsters like, yeah, you can date me. Just go friggin' punch that other monster in the face. Let me watch. Monster. Monster may I? Yeah, okay, it's pretty funny. The Stylomancer, you can get treasure cards. Treasures can let you steal things. I never like stealing stuff from in this sort of game, but you know, it seems that I like that it is an option. Everybody can go for those options. If you're getting wrecked, it's a potential catch-up mechanism. Yeah, when one dungeon door is no remaining monsters, play one last round because you deal them all out. Yeah, you know, it seems funny. Definitely seems funny. I can see all the little mini expansions adding something in. I don't think I would need the mini expansions because of the additional uptick in price. Like, I don't really want to spend $70 on this game plus shipping. No, I don't think so. But, you know, $25 for the base game. It's too bad that they aren't offering just the base game as an add-on. That's surprising to me. Why wouldn't you just offer the base game as well? Yeah, but you know what? Definitely a very funny card game. Thanks, Wilt, for making sure that I didn't miss it. That finishes Tuesday, October 28th at 9:58 a.m. Okay, 2 more. We got Tenpenny Parks and Expansion, the Collector's Edition. Expand your thrilling theme park with innovation in winter lights and spooky nights, featuring amazing art from Vincent Dutré. Tenpenny Parks I'd heard good things about. It had never sort of blown me away whenever I'd looked at it, but I think it's a fun style game. Yeah, both of these look fun. Yeah, 2 new expansions and a Collector's Edition. Collector's Edition gameplay all in 108 is honestly not bad because it's been around for a while. The regular game's like 60 or 70 anyway. So adding in these 2 additional expansions and a bunch of expansions, that doesn't feel bad at all. Winter Lights and Spooky Nights, $24 added into there, right? So if you subtract that, you're at what, 84? For a collector's edition, for a deluxe. Innovation expansion, also 36. Both new expansions is 56. Oh, collector's edition, no base game. Oh, so if you already have the base game, you can get the box and everything, all the expansions in it. What's Tenpenny Parks? You have 5 months to transform the humble town of Fairview into the home of the world's greatest theme parks. Each round you send workers to remove trees, build attractions, or expand their property to attract more visiting people. VPs. At the end of each round, the players with most thrill, awe, and joy in their parks receive rewards. After 5 rounds, the player with the most visiting people wins. Yeah, I've looked into Tenpenny Parks before. I've thought it looked fun. Your simple worker placement where you're clearing out things and laying down tiles to build out a park, right? Building a card, you grab a shape and add it to your location, and you can't let your pieces touch. It's another one of those games, like Hocus, I think I'm pronouncing correctly, according to their BGG page. Yeah, you're just getting stuff moving up along tracks. It seems fun enough. I like these expansions. They give asymmetric powers. They give additional building considerations as well. If you'd been interested in Tenpenny Parks, or you have it, I mean, if you have it, they're basically valuing it at $38. How much is Tenpenny Parks in store? Yeah, it's like $60 in the store, so that's Canadian, so it doesn't feel horrible if you wanted to get everything with it for the additional 100. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it because I think if you have the game, you already know about it, but it doesn't feel like a bad value if you've been interested in this game before. $6 shipping as well for the base expansions, or the collectors, $12 shipping to the US. 18 to Canada. Not horrible. It's not something that I'm going to pull the trigger on, but I would expect a lot more expense in this world of very expensive games and collector's editions. This actually feels decently reasonable to me. So if you're interested, that finishes Tuesday, October 28th at 5 p.m. And then finally, this is the last one, which who knows what it's going to be like. This is Hocus Pocus Hyperfocus, the ADHD Oracle game. The cozy story about an absent-minded witch and a very important thing to do and a lot of distractions stealing her focus. Preach. A game about filming. Crowdfunding Countdown. Let's check it out. Oh, it's a storytelling game. That's like a TTRPG. Your witch wakes up with a limited pool of energy from the deck of distractions. It'll give you a symbol, and you gotta tell how you completed the symbol. Feels like homework. Alright, well, that sounds interesting to you. You can check it out. I guess I'll leave the link down below, but that's pretty much it. And that is pretty much it for me, it for the week. Now, every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing I think is the most interesting mechanically, the thing I have the highest potential of backing. And the pick for you being the thing I think if you got, you would regret the least. And so there's a lot of good options this week, but again, we're going to remind ourselves with a little crowdfunding grunt down about what came before. Yeah. No. Meh. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nah. Meh. Yeah. No. Nah. And nah. This is a tough one. I'm surprised I'm giving it to this, but I'm going to give pick for me to Era of Atlantis. I am more excited about this the second go around. And I don't know if that just meant Chris from episode 161 was tired or what, but I see I see more of the potential that's happening here. I'm still on the fence about the 2 players, but out of everything, I think this might be the thing I'm most interested in. Possibly other than the pick for you, but I have to have a pick for you. I think pick for you is going to be Honor's End as well. I think pick for you, I think Honor's End, Ivy Studios will deliver. They'll always deliver good quality product, and I think it'll be, you know, decent enough deck building. The comboing of the cards and the simultaneous play, I think, will be enjoyable enough. And seems from the reviews that I've read, people are sitting around, you know, a 7 or an 8, 8.5, that range of how they enjoyed it. And that's like a, yeah, sure idea. It's kind of a safe pick. But yeah, Era of Atlantis, I think, would be the pick for me as well. €67 feels pretty good too. It's less than Galactic Era. Galactic Era was also stuffed with stuff, right? So yeah, I think definitely hits in that pick for me range. But a couple good things, and that's it for the week. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Remember, it's me, Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but always keep in mind that I am angry, misinformed, and loud. I'll see you in the next one.